Castles in the Air by Don McLean. We're going to be capoed on the 2nd fret and in drop D tuning. So we have... The intro, which is probably going to be the hardest part to learn, begins with some pickup notes. And you can play those with any fingers on your left hand that makes sense. I just want to make sure that your pointer finger is free for where we go next. This song does use some good old Travis picking, and it throws in some hammer-ons in some kind of off places. Our first measure actually starts off with a hammer-on. And I actually do like to isolate out the thumb and the remaining fingers. So for our thumb, in the intro, we're going to be playing this. And then repeat. Repeat. And as I mentioned in that first hammer-on, we add in that extra note, that high E string. Then we continue. So we have, for the first chord, and then our second chord is going to be like a D shape, but we're going to pick up our pointer finger and move it up a string to the 4th string. And then we're going to pick up our ring, or our middle finger, and then do a hammer-on the high E string. I like to throw off my fingers for that last double stop. Probably not necessary, but it just helps me to prepare for the next chord that we're going back to. So, and we go back to the beginning. Now we're accompanying that bass note with the 2nd fret on the G string. And this is probably the hardest part in the song, the hardest little lick to get. What we're doing there on that hammer-on, we're doing the hammer-on to the 4th fret with our ring finger, and then right as we hit the 4th fret, we're plucking the D string. And then we do this little walk up. And that echoes the melody. Country born, country born. You see how it echoes the melody there, so that's what we're playing while we're singing it. And again, that's probably going to be the hardest part to get comfortable with if you're not familiar with that very specific pattern. And when we hit that high note, we let that ring out because that replaces the note in parentheses at the beginning of the song that you see in the tab there. So the second time through, as this section repeats, you don't play that high note in the first measure. You only play that in the first measure. You don't play it on the repeats. So... play it early, do the hammer-on, and then continue. Play it early, then do the hammer-on. Repeat. Play it early. That set of 2 measures, I'll point out, the first one is 4/4 time. The second one is 2/4 time. And again, you could just count the whole thing in 2/4, but I do think it helps to call out the measures that are unique like that. In the intro, those measures repeat 3 times, and on the 3rd time, the second measure, the 2/4 measure, is cut out, and you jump in straight to line 2, which we'll go over now. For line 2, which is very simple Travis picking for the thumb, you just are going back and forth between the E and the D string, the low D and the D string. And you're going to start playing a D chord, but you only are going to need the B and the G strings at first. So we play this. Hammer on. So we're highlighting this in the background. And we're supporting that with this. That makes up the intro. We can now move into the verse, which starts off like this. For this, we're going to want to learn 3 chords. We're going to play this one here. And then we're going to drop our ring finger that's on the 7th fret. I would very specifically play with my ring finger on the G string, my pinky on the B string, and pointer up here. That will enable us to evolve through the rest of the chords very seamlessly. So for the second one, all you do is you're going to lift off your ring finger, put down your middle finger on the 6th fret. You're going to slide that same shape down 2 frets, and then you're going to go into a D, and this is probably going to be different from how you normally play a D, but I'm going to keep my pinky and ring finger on those same 2 strings and just slide them down, and then I put my ring finger on that final string there to complete the D. And I just like doing that because it just... everything is just right in place to move on to the next very seamlessly. And then through that progression, we're going to play this. For the chorus, which sounds like this. Save me from all the trouble and the pain. I know I'm weak, but I can't face that girl again. Our thumb is going to be doing this. For the first chord, I like to use my pointer and middle fingers on those 2 frets. That enables me to really easily move to the A7. My middle finger acts as an anchor between those 2 chords. So we play this. Then to the A7. To hit this 3rd fret, you can either put your pinky right there, which is already there. That's actually what I normally do. Or you can slide your middle finger up really easily that way too. So we have ring finger slide up, or pinky. Then we do a little walk up, then a walk down, and then we go to an A7, and then that last series of chords is going to be and we just move that up. We then repeat everything we just played with one minor change on our little walk up. When we walk back down, we get to the bottom faster, I guess that's one way of saying it. So the first time through we have. But this time through we're going to be playing this. So we get down to that 2nd fret just a little bit quicker. Just one minor difference as we play through the chorus. For our playthrough, just to avoid some duplication, I'm going to go from the intro to the first verse like normal, but I'm going to skip the 2nd verse and just go into the chorus. 1, 2, 3.